Greetings. In a new short video presentation, we're going to see how we go about conducting a vulnerability scan of our network using OpenVAS. So there's a couple things we have to do to get ready here. One of those is make sure that our machine is configured for bridge networking. So I'm going to go up to a machine, go into settings, look at my network, and make sure that I have a bridge adapter. That's if you want to scan your entire home network. If you're not worried about it, then don't change it from that to bridge. Just leave it alone. Next thing we have to do is find out our network IP for this network. Now I'm currently sitting on 192.168.0, and that is my network IP. The .30, that just represents the IP address assigned to my Kali machine. Alright, so now we can go ahead and get started. So the next thing we want to do is go ahead and open up a browser, and we're going to go on over to our OpenVAS user interface, which is actually a web page. And to get up in here, I'm going to type in https://192.168.0. Oh, I'm sorry. I can do that, but let's do it like this. I'm going to type in //. I'm going to use my loopback 127.0.0.1. And you'll notice that it says the connection is not secure. That's normal because it can't verify the certificate. So it doesn't know who actually created the certificate, and it doesn't care. It just says that the connection is not secured. So we're going to make an exception. To do this, we're going to click on the Advanced tab, and then we're going to go down here and we're going to click on where it says Add Exception. On this next page, we're going to confirm the security exception. And now we have our logon page for OpenVAS. Now the username and the password is in the lab, but I will tell you that for this container, when you use a container to install OpenVAS, the username and password is admin. So I've typed in that username and password, admin and admin. Now I'm going to log in. You can tell it to remember if you like, if you're going to use this quite a bit. And that brings us up to the dashboard. So I'm going to show you how to conduct a scan real quick of your network. And we begin by just going over here to scans, and we're going to go and create a new task. And then it tells us that we can go ahead and use the task wizard. So we're going to go ahead and close this out, and we're going to head on over here to the task wizard. And it's going to take us through the process of actually creating a task to scan our network. So I'm going to go ahead and get rid of that 172, and I'm going to type in 192.168.0.0/24. So again, I'm telling it that everything is filled up all the way through the first 3 octets. The only octet I want you to worry about is that last 8 bits, which is the .0 on the end. And I want you to find all the IP addresses that are assigned to devices on this network and scan them. So let's go ahead and start a scan. Just go ahead and click the Start Scan button. So the task has been requested, and it's going to take a little while for it to create it. Once the task is created, this is going to change the status. Once the status changes, then we'll actually start scanning. And when it does, we can go over to the actual results in real time and watch those scans come in. So you've just seen the status change to a percentage. Now this means that we can go ahead and go on over and we can see the scan results as they're coming in, but right now there's nothing there. So we're going to go ahead and be patient, and we're going to wait for it to scan my network and then come back and tell me what devices have certain vulnerabilities. Now be patient with this scan. The page for this dashboard is going to refresh automatically every so many seconds to let you know what changes are actually happening with your status. So if you don't see it changing, it's because it can take a while for it to get any good results. Remember now, it's scanning for 254 IP addresses. Your IP address may be somewhere in there, but it's going to take a while for it to get. Additionally, in our last video, you saw how we updated OpenVAS. And we updated a lot of those network vulnerability test scripts. A lot. So all that is being looked at for every IP address that is alive on the network. So that can take a little while to go through. So my scan is now up to 61%. It doesn't look like there's a lot going on in here, but we'll go ahead and click it and see what's going on with our report. So we're going to get on over here to the actual status page, and you'll see that I've got some mediums, and it's my DCE RPC service, and there's also some lows, some TCP timestamps. That's not a big deal. This severity here, we can take a look at that real quick. If we click on this, it's more information about this particular vulnerability, and we can see exactly what it is. Now, the good thing about these reports is that if you are lucky enough, you may get an idea of how to solve it or how to fix it. So the solution, mitigation, filter incoming traffic to this port is the answer. That's what it says. But we have a port 49157, 155, and some other ports here that it's saying vulnerability detection results for this particular service, this MSRPC service, running on this host via the TCP protocol. So it says that I'm vulnerable to an attack with these particular ports available. So you can either use your browser back button, or you can just go to scans and go to task. Either one will take you back to the home page there. And if you want to see what's going on here with your scan, you'll see that we're looking at approximately 66% of it being completed. You have your host IP addresses over here, and you can click on these. Let's see what happens. We should get a report for this machine, and we do. So let's see, not a lot going on here, but the scan hasn't completed yet. So all the information won't be available to us until we get a complete scan. Again, I can go up here to scans, I can click on task, it'll take me back over, and I can look at the scan results as they come in. So my scan has completed, and I now have a status of done, and I also have a report. And over here you can see that I have one medium reported, a lot of informationals, and no severities, no high severity found. Now, to look at the actual results, I want to see the report. To see the report, I go over here, and underneath where it says report, I just click on the number. That's going to take me over to the next page in just a moment. There we go. Now, you'll see that we have this one medium over here, and we have it listed over here as well. So we can look at the scan results for the entire scan by clicking on the task, and you'll see that it comes up and it tells you everything you want to know about this particular scan, such as how long it took, 16 minutes, 29 seconds. It found 51 results. Any notes that you might have wanted to add, you could. Overrides, if there were any. And now we can return back on over to our previous page. As far as scans go, we're not having much luck here finding some good vulnerabilities to be able to attack or exploit. But that can be a good thing and that can be a bad thing depending on which hat you're wearing. Again, we're looking at the results of this scan, and it's pretty complete. With the scan results, we can go over here and click on the medium to see what this pops up. Not a lot of information here. We've got just this graph to look at, and that's about it. Now we have the IP addresses, and we're looking at those machines, and in particular the type of severity. On this page here, we can look at the IP addresses of the machines that were scanned and the severity of the vulnerabilities that were found. And again, if you'd like to have some more information about each one of these vulnerabilities that were discovered, just click on the vulnerability itself, and you'll take it on over to the next page where you'll find out all about it. Well, as you can see, OpenVAS is pretty intuitive. You can spend 5 or 10 minutes with it and you'd know all about it. There's not a lot that's going on in here. We have one scan as opposed to 50 different scans that Nessus offers us. But it's a good scanner. It does a good job. And the best part about it is it's open source and it's free. Okay, That concludes this short video presentation on how we go about conducting a vulnerability scan of our network using OpenVAS. And if you have any concerns or any questions about the content of this video or the lab, don't hesitate to reach out and contact your instructor. And I'll see you in my next video.